Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Welcome back to another exciting and hopefully informative episode. It's not a meat cleaver, but it's a wonderful knife. I paid a little extra for that, and it makes me want to cook. I actually want to cook things like salad, so I can do a lot of chop and it, I don't know. I like it. I don't know why. All right, let's jump right into this. Feet first, okay? Not head first, because this is dangerous. Tick-borne illnesses, Lyme's disease. It's kind of scary, man. The symptoms that you can develop are like arthritis, allergies to red meat. Golly, I've tried a lot of different diets, and I know that when your muscles are fatigued and they need to recover, one of the best things that you can do is red meat. The second best thing is your fish. The cool thing about this is if you're trying to treat symptoms after you have been treated for Lyme's disease, well, first of all, you might develop an allergy to red meat. So you got to cut that out. You can't have any more red meat for the rest of your life. No more steak, no more burgers, no more, you know, red meat. And that's, for me, that's the scariest thing because I really like red meat. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I've worked in the medical industry. I've worked in the hospitals. I am not a doctor. So obviously, I have to say this. Consult your physician. It's holistic medicine, man. The FDA is not going to sign off on it, and they never will, especially when it works. So let's get right into this. So, unfortunately, I cannot speak as the case study because when I had Lyme's disease, I took a basic antibiotic, doxycycline, for 2 weeks, and that, I hope, pretty much cleared it up. I was out at Fort Pickett doing combat convoy training and rescue training and land navigation training, just the basic training shit that we got to do. And I mean, it's the woods. You're in Virginia, but it's everywhere. All the 50 United States have ticks, and I don't know of any one of them that doesn't have ticks that have Lyme disease. So I've experienced it firsthand, and people that I know from the East Coast to the West Coast. This video is for one of my faithful followers, Sylph of the Wild Woods. How you doing, man? I thank you. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Here's what I got, okay? And I don't really know. This is just information, and I haven't been able to be the case study or try it, but I'm going to tell you what I believe. Now, you said that I said that you should eat seeds, and that's correct. That's true, but I can't take credit for that. It was first published in the Bible. I don't know who said it, but somebody in the Bible said that you should eat the fruit and the seed. Now, we all know that seeds have a lot of amazing properties, like the apricot seed. Some of the derivatives from it, if you make a tincture out of it, you can cure your own cancer. But we're not talking about cancer, we're talking about Lyme's disease. So actually, the grape seed extract, that might benefit you. It's a known remedy, but the pharmaceutical company does not produce it, so you're probably not going to find any information on it. Not that the pharmaceutical company has any influence or power or control over the media, but there are some therapies that you can do for yourself. Now, just because it grows in the dirt and just because it's all natural does not mean that it's not powerful. You have to be careful. I'm going to go ahead and get the weirdest thing out of the way first, and I'm going to talk about essential oils. This is hard for me, but I actually believe in it. I do not have a degree in aromatherapy, but I can assure you that oils are good. They work. Particularly grapeseed extract oil. That is one of the most powerful ones. Now, you don't want to take the recommended dose. Let's talk about all of them. Oregano, cinnamon bark, clove bud, and grapeseed extract. Now, these are oils that you don't put them in your mouth, you don't eat them, you don't cook your food in them. What you should do is put them in a diffuser. Put them in a diffuser with distilled water above your bed on the headboard and breathe it while you sleep. I know it seems far-fetched, but there's been some studies done that shit, I don't know, man. Like I said, I can't vouch for this information, but I do believe that the grapeseed extract is probably pretty powerful and it probably works. But there's so many other things you can do, not in the United States, but in other countries. They've done some other research with venom, bee venom, and royal jelly. And for those of you that don't know, royal jelly is different than your regular honey. The bees produce it especially for the queen. It's a little more concentrated, it's a little more powerful, and believe it or not only is it sweet and delicious, it's very powerful medicine. So there's that. Now, if you do have Lyme's disease and you've been treated and you still have symptoms, you have a problem. Now, the only intelligence that I can speak on this from experience is when I was in there in Fort Pickett, like I was talking about earlier, I got bit by a tick and I had one of the most trademark symptoms that you can have. A tick bit me. It was extra irritated and itchy, and about 48 hours after I picked the tick off, there was a definite bullseye. It was a big lumpy red dot with a white circle and then another red circle around it. And I'm talking perfect circle. It was undeniable. There was no doubt in my mind. It was like, shit, that's Lyme's disease, you know? So I did 2 weeks of doxycycline and I think it licked it. But for some people, listen, y'all, for some people it doesn't lick it. I don't know why. It's definitely directly related to your immune response. Not a common thing that most people come into contact with, but I don't know too many of y'all that haven't been bit by a tick. So, I don't know. To me, it's a little scary. So what can we do? Obviously, your diet is going to change, especially if you develop an allergy to red meat. And that's the most scary thing about it. I mean, I would take the muscle pain and joint pain and arthritis over an allergy to red meat every day. I have a friend that was bit by a tick, got Lyme's disease. He was treated, but he maintained a symptom after the treatment where he can't eat red meat. So he goes in about once or twice a year and gets a steroid injection just so he can eat red meat. Who knew? And apparently, after the steroid injection, he has about a week of grace period where he can eat red meat and it doesn't wreck him. Now, if you don't have the steroid or you don't respond to it well and you eat red meat and you have the allergy, it's going to put you out of the fight. So let's talk about that. There's some ways that you can treat it. We've talked about it. Grapeseed extract. I think that's one of the key elements. I think that's the ticket. Like I said, I don't know. Your diet's going to change. You need to fill it with fruits, vegetables, obviously, salmon, tuna, sardines. The omega-3s are going to help coat that foreign body in your blood, and allegedly it's going to give you some comfort. Good night. You've got to avoid, I hate to say this to y'all, but you've got to avoid alcohol, processed food, and sugar. So that means, all the fun stuff you gotta say adios and substitute it for other fun stuff, I don't think there's anything better than a smoked salmon fillet. but that's just me. There's some other benefits to shit that you should be taking anyways, like magnesium, your omega 3s, obviously, probiotics. Listen, we've talked about acid reflux and probiotics before. You should just do that anyways. I mean, just because. And turmeric and olive leaf, obviously, I'm a fan. I cannot speak about mushroom extract. Apparently, they've had a lot of success with mushroom extract. And I don't know. In my mind, the benefit for mushrooms has to be medicinal because the caloric benefit does not outweigh the risk of eating mushrooms. Just because there's almost every nutritional mushroom, there is a deadly toxic look-alike. And I just try to stay away from mushrooms. And I know actually a lot about mushrooms, and I still don't mess with them, just because. Maybe I should get more into that. We'll get more into that. This is a very, very interesting topic. If you guys know something I don't, please, man, inform me. Let me know. This is a good one. Man, tune back into my homemade bug spray, because good night. The best prevention is obviously don't get bit. But if you're out there in the woods, it's going to happen. And it's like, what do? Do we make something natural, or do we spray DEET on us? It's like, do you know DEET is a neurotoxin? Even the FDA has recognized that DEET is a neurotoxin. We had this other shit that in the military that you were supposed to put on your clothes and set them out to dry. And I caught one of my buddies in the bathroom, one of my team members in the bathroom, and he had sprayed his uniform. We were in Iraq. I think it was Iraq. He sprayed his uniform, he hung it on the shower, and then he started spraying his skin. And I walked in when he was about halfway through spraying his legs. And I stopped him. I was like, Mackie, no, dude, you're not supposed to do that. And he was like, shut up, white boy. And I was like, no, man, seriously, you're not. Read the directions. And before he could finish his sentence, he started doing the funky chicken. And I was like, he locked up and started having a seizure. It was bad. So we want to stay away from the shit that is toxic from us, obviously. But, there's, for every pharmaceutical medicine, there is a more helpful and productive natural remedy. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. Every medicine that you take is a synthetic derivative of something that grows in the dirt. And that pisses me off. But more to follow. If you guys want to keep this going, I would love to learn more about it. But anyways, love you, minute. Sif of the woods, Sif of the wild woods. I am so sorry that happened to you. I cannot even imagine. I've experienced it, but I didn't get to have the displeasure of the aftermath when the initial treatment doesn't work. And I was surprised to learn that it doesn't work a lot. So anyways, guys, love you, mean it. I would love to. I'm stuck on this. I want to know more about it. So anyways, hey, stay tuned, stay vigilant. Obviously, stay salty. We'll see you next time. I like this kitchen. It's all right. Could use more counter space. Good night.